when you're going through a divorce, you have different urgencies for tackling all these new struggles according to what stage you're at in your post-divorce recovery journey. So I separated into 4 stages. First one is the crisis mode, stage 1, and it's your first 3 months of getting separated. And this is your survival stage when you have to immediately survive and stabilize. It's your primary focus would be just your basic needs and immediate challenges solved. This is a full-on survival mode. The goal here isn't to fix everything, it's just to stabilize and stay afloat. You have to figure out your basic needs, emotional survival, and legal necessities, right? The biggest struggle here is maybe finding a lawyer, some legal issues, having your documents and paperwork ready. Housing issues can be like, where do you live? Do you move out? Do you stay in there? Immediate finances, like, do you have money in your bank account, or what do you do with that? And some taking care of your emotional shock, because you are in a shock stage. And then the next stage, second stage, is a transition stage, about 4 or 5 months of your transition between the crisis stage to your recovery stage. In this stage, you're beginning to adjust to your new life. You are finding your footing. You are still feeling everything so fragile. You're still emotionally imbalanced. It's about starting new routines, but still figuring out your new normal. And primary focus on this stage is creating new routines and stability. And your emotional state is still processing, adjusting, finding your way. The biggest struggle here is maybe co-parenting, figuring out where your kids are going to be over the week, adjusting to that, figuring out routines, and self-care. Maybe you start thinking about your self-care at that stage. Now, the third stage here, I call the recovery stage. And I think it's more recovery and growth, because you can start thinking about your growth when you are approximately 9 months to about a year and a little bit from your separation. Some people at that stage already finished their divorce papers and they're off to building their new lives. And some people are still in the trenches of their divorce, going through mediation or court hearings and stuff like that. So it really up to the personal circumstances at that stage, but you are already in a place emotionally that you can stop being in your survival mode and start thinking about your growth. You're not just reacting to the situation, you're rebuilding. This is when you start thinking clearly, because your forebrain starts to work. Before that, we only had our lizard brain available for us. So what do you actually want for your future? And a lot of people start asking you, what do you want? And when you're writing your decree, questions start arising like, what do you want to do for the holidays? And you start thinking about your future, because you have to have all of this written down in your divorce decree. The biggest struggles around here is making sure you care for your self-worth and your career. Your future planning starts here, I think, if you can allow yourself to start thinking about your future here. And your emotional healing, still, it's kind of like you're finalizing your emotional state at that point, hopefully. And then the last stage, I call this renewal stage. This is from 16 months to 24 months, but honestly goes on for longer sometimes. For me, I'm 3 years past my separation and I'm still in this stage, because this kind of goes as a process of just rebuilding a new life. So in this renewal stage, it's a transformation from your old life to a whole new chapter. And this is when things start kicking into place, hopefully. It's no longer about surviving, it's about thriving and stepping into your power. Your primary focus is your personal development, your future planning. This is my favorite stage, honestly. It's nice to be in this stage, it's super exciting, but it's also a lot of work. It's a lot of learning new skills. It's pretty hard, right? So your biggest struggles here is learning to trust yourself again, maybe start dating, maybe refining your life goals, and embracing new opportunities. Maybe if you move to a new city, you're starting looking for new opportunities, new friendships. These are the 4 stages. Now, which one do you feel that you're on? Drop a comment below with what stage of separation you are at right now. I went through all of these stages myself and all of these struggles in one way or another. And I found that it was so overwhelming. And I knew that it's going to be hard, but I did not know that it's going to be so hard to go through a divorce. While I was in the middle of it, I was thinking about that the next life that I'm going to have, the life after, when I'm on the other side, I want to help other women going through this to have an easier time, to go through this divorce project in a better way. because what I was struggling the most is that I felt like I have to go through this crazy project all by myself. Yeah, I had my parents, I had family, I had a therapist, I had friends, and I had this kind of support system, but it was not enough. Even with professional help, with Facebook groups, it felt like I have to do everything by myself, and it was really, really scary to feel that way. Here's the thing about getting a divorce. It's not a little event like in the movies where they just instantly bringing their ex the papers and they sign it, and then all of a sudden they are on their next chapter having their new life made for them. It's not like that in real life. It's a full-on project that you are faced to with having to manage all of a sudden. And you are suddenly kind of promoted into being this project manager for this reconstruction project. Honestly, I was not prepared for that. But if you're going through this, you're probably already overwhelmed and you don't need another thing on your plate, right? The last thing you need is also to try to figure out how to do it. Like the last thing, you have so many things on your mind. You don't need another thing to think about and try to figure out. How do you figure out what to do first? If you have 100 different things to figure out, how do you go about it, right? So I decided to create a toolkit, a structure, and a way to customizably help women going through this divorce process. I thought about it like someone holding their hand through the process, like a divorce buddy, like someone who's there to help them make sure that they're on the right trajectory to where they want to be, right? Make sure, help them make the right decisions, help them prioritize what's important, what's not important, help them find out what they need, what they want, what they desire, what their dreams are, and figure out how to get there. What do they lack? What do they still need? Like what kind of skills are missing so that they can figure out their next steps? Like if it's financial education, if it's like career shifts that need some new education for that, or it's like emotional help. And it's something that can give you resources to whatever needs that you might need. Each woman going through this process has definitely a totally different circumstances, a unique bunch of struggles that she has to face. So there's no like one generic solution that fits all. You need to find a solution that's personalized and customized for your needs. And this is what I wanted to create, some divorce buddy that will help you hold your hand through the process, gets your mental clarity, help you with this mental load, because we have to make all the decisions and we get super decision fatigued. We don't have enough brain power to be able to do all that by ourselves, and we feel like it's too much. So this is a customizable and personal tool for your own unique situation and circumstances that will help you go through these 4 stages of rebuilding your life after a separation. And from a life that's basically shattered, your old life is no longer existing, to rebuilding a new chapter that's not only fine and okay, but amazing and absolutely fabulous. Do that with an intention, with a directive, with someone who is there to help you go through it without having to do it all your own. So this is why I'm creating the Power Move Picker, because when you're facing all these new struggles, you just want to do a power move. And this is why I made this wizard tool that would pick for you what to tackle first. So the first step is you answer an assessment quiz, and that helps the wizard to prioritize all the struggles according to your own specific needs. And then it gives you the 3 first priorities of struggles that you can focus on, instead of having your mind jump through all these different struggles trying to tackle all at once, because it's just not possible. Once you have these 3 top priorities for each of those, it's going to give you a reflection question, so that when you answer that, you have a better understanding of what's the next step that you should take. And then you can write down your first actionable step to make sure you're on the right way to cover and tackle that struggle. So you end up going away with an action plan to this specific stage of your post-divorce recovery. And you can go back to this tool every few weeks or few months to retake this assessment quiz and see how you're going through the stages and having different urgencies, different priorities of different struggles to tackle. And each one of these stages, it will give you new reflections and new action steps to start from there. So this way, you don't have to make all the decisions. You don't have to even do this mental load of thinking. Just give me the answer, right? I can't really give you the answer, but I can help you get there yourself really easily without like having to waste a lot of mental effort and energy for that, right? So imagine a project manager standing over your shoulder and saying, hey, don't stress about this right now. This is what actually matters today. That's what this toolkit is doing. So what's the real magic? It's not about telling you exactly what to do. It's about giving you the mental clarity to remove all the mental fog and easing that decision for you. So it's 10 times easier to go through this divorce process, and you don't have to feel alone, and you don't have to feel like you have to do it all by yourself. So it's not harder than it has to be, because anyway, it's going to be hard, right? So if you're curious about it and you want to try this new tool, the Power Move Picker, make sure to comment below and I will send you the link to check it out. It's your comeback era. You want to make the most of it, but you don't have the capacity to figure out how to do it now. So let me help you. Let me give you this hand to do it together as a divorce buddy and rebuild the life that you actually deserve and you want and you desire. So before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What would you wish you had during this journey that would make your life much easier? Let me know, because I really want to know what would make your life easier. Okay, so no matter which stage you're at, remember, you don't have to do it all by yourself. You're not alone. A lot of us go through this. And if you are rebuilding, I'm here for you. Let's figure together how we're gonna make it easier for you and you don't have to do it the hard way. Follow for more about how to rebuild your life after divorce. And drop the word power below and I'll send you a link to the rebuilding tool. And you got this. So one power move at a time. Let's get together and do this power move. See you guys later. See you next time. I love you. Bye.